Welcome back to another edition of Between Two FARS. I'm Warneke Miller, and I am joined once again by two of my favorite contract law attorneys here at NASA, Michael Mark and Robert Tepfer. And we're giving you some news you can use. All right, you've just had a bid protest filed. What should you be expecting in these next 30 days? In our last episode, we talked about what you need to do to get your agency report ready. And today we're going to be talking about some of those auxiliary issues that are just as important and you shouldn't let slip through the cracks. We're talking about staying your current proceedings for contract award and how do you keep the government's requirements met during this time of the 100 days of the GAO bid protest. Welcome back again, gentlemen. All right. Tell me, what is a stay of proceedings?
Well, I'll take the lead on this one. A stay means that you stop the performance of the contract that you just awarded. The law, the SECA says that when you get a protest that normally you have to stay the work unless there is a compelling reason to override the stay. And in order to do that, you're going to have to put a document together justifying why you did that. The GAO rule on this is up there. GAO doesn't really get into the stays of performance, but they need to be notified when we're going to override that stay. In an episode that you and I shot some time ago, I had noted that when I was in the Air Force, we had a case with a self-inflating life vest where we'd run out of them. A pilot bailed out, did not have one of them, and drowned when he got in the water. We decided we were going to make an emergency buy of the vests. We got a protest. We said we're not going to stop performance because we need the vests. We were able. That was a very easy case to do. But you know, you've got I don't know, a training contract, or you've got some kind of service that's considered mission essential. You've got to decide, can I extend the contract with the incumbent and have them do the work, which is the preferred option, or do I want to say, no, I'm going to let the new contractor take over, and it may be that there's long lead or something that's mission critical that has to be done now, and they have the ability and the other contractor doesn't. Those are things you've got to work out. So you need to be talking to the source selection authority, to the program people, and to the contracting folks to decide. As I say,
you're talking about options such as a new contract or a bridge contract or an extension on a current contract?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about those options that our COs should be thinking about.
Well, the easiest thing, hopefully, is, you know, most contracts have this 6-month option to extend, and hopefully things have been planned out and timed out so that you can exercise that 6-month option and just keep the contract going. If you run through the option already, then you've got one of two options available. One is you can bilaterally extend the contract, or you can award what you call the bridge contract, which is a short-term contract for, say, 4 months or 5 months, to continue the work with the either with the incumbent, usually with the incumbent, or possibly with somebody else, to continue to get that work done. Obviously the other thing is say, okay, we're going to override the stay and we're going to let the new contractor perform the work. Any one of those, you're going to have to justify why you're doing that. So you just need to be able to be ready to do that. And I don't know, Bob, you probably had experience with this too.
Yeah, Bob, can you parade the horribles for us? What are the horribles in each of these situations?
There's a couple. First off, the biggest headache with a incumbent, when the incumbent's a protester, is this is the same entity that created this mess for you. And now you have to sit down at the table and negotiate with them. And you hopefully can have a series of options so that you do it for the shortest period of time to placate the contractor that you thought was going to get the award. That's really appropriate. You know, you're dealing with, you know, the prior episode, you're trying to work the protest at the same time, and guess what? You have the same key people involved in those negotiations, the same people going over the requirements. Sometimes it's a different statement of work that's been modified that you contemplating awarding. And you did that for a very good reason. Now you have the old statement of work. Are you going to renegotiate for this bridge or whatever? You seldom have options that haven't been used. So you have to do something bilaterally that's different. And all this discussion presumes that you have an incumbent. From time to time, you don't have the incumbent. You went ahead and you just started a new requirement and you needed it. You needed it in a timely fashion. And now you've got a situation where there's going to be incredible consequences and bad things are going to occur. Michael mentioned training contracts. You say, so what, the training's a little bit late. There can be consequences on other contracts that are totally dependent upon those training contracts. Or I mentioned one which was food services, okay? That's not a really bad thing unless you were setting it up at a different location that didn't have a contract previously, such that there's no contract to extend. So all of these are very fact specific, and they're all going on simultaneously with the people that are theoretically getting ready to do the contracting officer's statement and helping you with regard to the legal memorandum and responding in a timely fashion.
That's right. So far we have covered what you need to do in the first 30 days of your bid protest and putting together your agency report. And this episode, we talked a little bit about the considerations for meeting the agency's requirements while putting a stay on the current source selection. But there's another thing that we need to talk a little bit about for these first 30 days, and that's the protective order. Let's come back again for another episode and talk a little bit about protective orders. How's that sound?
Okay, we can do that.
All right. See us here again next time between two FARS.